I can't take it anymore. My mind's about to go to war. I need someone to save me from myself, to hear me cry when I call out for help. I blame it on the voices that are in my head, wondering if they'll ever be put to bed. Feels like I am close to reaching my wit's end, holding out, but I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Another day to lose control. There's a fire in my bones. My sight gets blurry.
All right, good morning, welcome. Okay, I am awake, undercaffeinated as usual, and ready to mystery the news and see how bad the world is. So let's come along, see how bad the news is, and then play some Wordle, play some crosswords, see how bad it gets, and get the hell out of here. Okay, what's this? First one, let's get right into it. The camera. Yes. World in $1.5 trillion plastics crisis hitting health from infancy to old age, reports warn plastics. Plastic production has increased more than 200 times since 1950 and hits health at every stage from extraction to disposal, says review in The Lancet. Plastic production has increased more than 200 times since 1950. What all this work about the green disposal of plastics and reducing plastics, and I think there's like tariffs or fines for using plastic. When you go to like every supermarket, you pay a little extra if you get a plastic bag. Am I wrong? You do it, recycling, separating your trash for all these years. I think it's been decades, and you're telling me it has increased more than 200 times since the 1950? What's the point? Plastics are a grave, growing, and under-recognized danger to human and planetary health. A new expert review has warned the world is in a plastics crisis, it concluded, which is causing disease and death from infancy to old age and is responsible for at least $1.5 trillion a year in health-related damages. The driver of the crisis is the huge acceleration of plastic production. How is that happening? Everybody is reducing plastic. Plastic production is low, I thought. Like, that's the whole point that was sold to us, that was told to us. Like, everything is glass or like recyclable material, and everyone is recycling everything, and this is, which has increased by more than 200 times since 1950 and is set to almost triple again to more than 1 billion tons a year by 2060. While plastic has many important uses, the most rapid increase has been in the production of single-use plastics, that is, drinks bottles and fast food containers. As a result, plastic pollution has only soared, with 8 billion tons now polluting the entire planet. The review said from the top of Mount Everest to the deepest ocean trench, less than 10% of plastic is recycled. How? Everything that we've been told, less than 10% of plastic is recycled. How? Separating a trash for decades, all this, it got us 10% from country to country. Is there like different countries maybe? Maybe like certain countries, it doesn't happen because of the economic crisis. I don't know. More than 98% of plastics are made from fossil fuel, oil, gas, and coal. The energy-intensive production process drives the climate crisis by releasing the equivalent of 2 billion tons of CO2 a year, more than the emission of Russia, the world's fourth biggest polluter. Plastic production also produces air pollution, which more than half of unmanaged plastic waste was burned in the open air, further increasing dirty air, the report noted. I don't get it. How is that happening? All these things we are told to do, and then you have, I think you have fines too, right? All kinds of guardrails in place, and plastic production and pollution has increased. All right, what's next? Italy's fast fashion hub becomes Chinese mafia battlefield. Well, Madrid? Isn't Madrid? Prato, Italy. When Zhang Dayong lay in a pool of blood on a sidewalk in Rome after being shot 6 times, few suspected a link to Italy's storied textile hub of Prato. But a hangar war is raging in the city near Florence, turning Europe's largest apparel manufacturing center and a pillar of made in Italy production into a battleground for warring Chinese mafia groups. The situation has become so urgent that Prato's prosecutor Luca Tescaroli has appealed to Rome for help, calling for an anti-mafia division and reinforcement for judges and police. Tescaroli has warned that the escalation in crime has become a huge business operation and moved beyond Italy, particularly to France and Spain. The gangs are battling to control the production of hundreds of millions of clothes hangers each, like those plastic hangers, each year. The market is estimated to be worth 100 million euros, $150 million, and the bigger price of transporting apparel. The Chinese mafia also promotes the illegal immigration of workers of various nationalities for Prato Tescaroli. The veteran anti-mafia prosecutor said the phenomenon has been underestimated, allowing the mafia to expand its reach. With one of Europe's largest Chinese communities, the city of nearly 200,000 people has seen Chinese business owners and factory workers beaten or threatened in recent months, with cars and warehouses burnt. Wow. Wait, with one of Europe's largest Chinese communities, even more than the UK? Largest Chinese communities. Italy has one of the largest Chinese communities. Wow. The ex-head of Prato's police investigative unit, Francesco Nanucci said the Chinese mafia run betting dens, which is same like here, prostitution, which is same like here, and drugs. I've never heard of Chinese drugs, and provide their Italian counterparts with under-the-radar money transfers. For mafia leaders to be able to command in Prato means being able to lead in much of Europe, Nanucci said. Well-oiled system. Chinese groups in the district thrive on the Prato system, long rife with corruption and irregularities, particularly in the fast fashion sector, such as labor and safety violations, plus tax and customs fraud. Prato's 5,000 odd apparel and knitwear businesses, mostly small Chinese-run subcontractors, churn out low-price items that end up in shops across Europe. They pop up quickly and shut down just as fast, playing a cat-and-mouse game with authorities to avoid taxes or fines. Fabric is smuggled from China, evading customs duties and taxes, while profits are returned to China via illegal money transfers. To stay competitive, the sector relies on cheap, around-the-clock labor, mostly from China and Pakistan, which Tescaroli told a Senate committee in January was essential for its proper functioning. Oh, wow. It's not just one or two bad apples. Thank you, Just Life. It's not just one or two bad apples, but a well-oiled system they use and do very well. Closing, reopening, not paying taxes, said Riccardo Tamburino. Assad Kobe, these names always mess me up. Assad Kobe's union organizer leading strikes on behalf of immigrants. Investigators say the immigrants work 7 days a week, 13 hours a day for about €3 an hour. Tamburino said Prato's apparel industry. So basically, Chinese people are running sweatshops in Italy. Free from laws, from contracts. It's no secret, he said. All this is well known. Trucks lumber day and night through the streets of Prato's industrial zone, an endless sprawl of asphalt lined with warehouses and apparel showrooms with names such as Miss Fashion or Halala Pronto Moda. Open metal doors reveal loaded garment racks, rolls of fabric, and stacks of boxes awaiting shipment. The final step controlled by Zhang Nezong, whom prosecutors dubbed the boss of bosses within Italy's Chinese mafia. Wow. Italy has a Chinese mafia problem. Who would have thought? Third child dies nearly a week after a boat collision near Miami, Coast Guard says. Rest in peace. I didn't hear about this. I didn't do news during the weekend. I just got a little tired of reading how bad the fucking world is. The U.S. Coast Guard says a third child has died nearly a week after a barge struck and sank a boat during a sailing camp near Miami. All 6 people on the sailboat were pulled from the water after the collision, and 4 kids were rushed to a hospital where 2 were pronounced dead last Monday. A 10-year-old girl who was in critical condition died on Sunday, according to a Coast Guard statement. Our hearts continue to mourn with all those impacted by Monday's tragic incident, especially with the passing of another one of Miami's children today, Coast Guard Captain Frank Florio said. Officials didn't immediately identify any of the victims or release a cause for the crash. Salvage operations began Tuesday. The Coast Guard remains committed to conducting a thorough investigation to ensure all facts are uncovered. The collision between a barge and the sailboat occurred in Biscayne Bay between Miami and Miami Beach. Everyone on the sailboat, a teenage sailing camp counselor, and 5 children ended up in the water. They were in their last week of a camp for children aged 7 to 15, according to Miami Yacht Club. So they didn't have like lifesavers on. Oh, God. More than 10 years later, Flint declares its water safe after replacing lead pipes, but health issues and doubt persist. Never drink tap water without filtering it. Never drink tap water without filtering it. I don't care how good your local government is, how good the water is, never ever drink it. And God knows what they put in there. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but never put in never drink tap water without filtering it. There's a paywall. See it and you make so much freaking money. This is, oh God. Read the news. All major Las Vegas Strip casinos are now unionized in historic labor victory. Strippers labor? What? Unionizing? What is this? When Susana Pacheco accepted a housekeeping job at a casino on the Las Vegas Strip 16 years ago, she believed it was a step toward stability for her and her 2-year-old daughter. But the single mom found herself exhausted, falling behind on bills and without access to stable health insurance. Caught in a cycle of low pay and little support. For years, she said there was no safety net in sight until now. For 25 years, her employer, the Venetian, had resisted organizing efforts as one of the last holdouts on the Strip, locked in a prolonged standoff with the Culinary Workers Union, but a recent change in ownership opened the Venetian's doors to union representation, just as the Strip's newest casino. The Fontainebleau was also inking its first labor contract. I think I nailed that. Fontainebleau. The historic deals finalized late last year mark a major turning point. For the first time in the Culinary Union's 90-year history, all major casinos on the Strip are unionized, backed by 60,000 members, most of them in Las Vegas. It is the largest labor union in Nevada. Experts say the Culinary Union's success is a notable exception in a national landscape where union membership overall is declining. What? It is the largest union in Nevada. Experts say Culinary Union success is notable exception in a national landscape where union membership overall is declining. So people are not joining unions. Together, we have shown that change can be a positive force, and I'm confident that this partnership will continue to benefit us all in the years to come. Patrick Nichols, president and CEO of the Venetian, said shortly after workers approved the deal. Nevada's governor, Mark Cuban. Listen, bro. I don't know what this means. Yeah. I don't think people see unions the same way, because unionizing used to be like a positive thing. And if you have like a union job, it's almost like a really good job. It's a coveted job, even though it could be blue collar work, but it's a coveted job. Like look at the police union; they're very powerful. Brutal. Let me stop talking. A brutal arrest of Black student in Florida shows benefit of recording police from new vantage point. A video that captured the brutal arrest of a Black college student pulled from his car and beaten by officers in Florida has led to an investigation calls for motorists to consider protecting themselves by placing a camera inside their vehicles. William McNeil Jr. captured this February traffic stop on his cell phone camera, which is mounted above his dashboard. It offered a unique view, providing the only clear footage of the violence by officers, including punches to his head that can clearly be seen in officer's body camera footage released by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Since McNeil had the foresight to record the encounter from inside the vehicle, we got to see firsthand and hear firsthand and put it all in context what driving while Black is in America, says civil rights attorney Ben Crump, one of several lawyers advising McNeil. All the young people should be recording these interactions with law enforcement, Crump said, because what it tells us, just like with George Floyd, if we don't record the video, we can see what they put in the police report with George Floyd before they realized the video existed. McNeil was pulled over that day because officers said his headlights should have been on due to bad weather, his lawyer said. His camera shows him asking the officer what he did wrong. Seconds later, an officer smashes his window, strikes him as he sat in the driver's seat, and then pulls him from the car and punches him in the head. After being knocked to the ground, McNeil was punched 6 more times in his right thigh, a police report states. The incident reports don't describe the officer punching McNeil in the head. The officer who pulled McNeil over and then struck him described the force this way in his report. Physical force was applied to the suspect and he was taken to the ground. But after McNeil posted his video online last month and it went viral, the sheriff's office launched an internal investigation which is ongoing. A sheriff's office spokesperson declined to comment about the case this week, citing pending litigation, though no lawsuit has been filed over the arrest. Interesting. I saw the video, and initially there were a few people who were like saying, "Oh, this is bad," and then there was another video that was released from other office, the arresting office. I think the backup he had from their vantage point, and the rhetoric just changed. But I also think that people just waiting to get like any smaller excuse they can make, so they don't have, they don't want to support certain people, certain communities. I think that happened on it. I mean, Twitter's bad, bro, these days. New Zealand woman arrested after 2-year-old girl found alive in suitcase towed in bus luggage. What? Wellington, New Zealand. New Zealand woman was arrested on a child neglect charge Sunday after a bus driver found a 2-year-old girl alive in a suitcase that was towed in the vehicle's luggage compartment, authorities said. The bus driver noticed movement inside the bag during a planned stop at the settlement of Kaiwaka, north of Auckland. After a passenger asked for access to the luggage compartment, Detective Inspector Simon Harrison said in a statement. When the driver opened the suitcase, they discovered this 2-year-old girl who was very hot but otherwise appeared physically unharmed, Harrison said. Authorities didn't disclose the length of time the toddler was in the baggage compartment or which cities the bus was traveling between. The child was taken to hospital where she remained Sunday night at local time. The arrested woman was charged with ill treatment or neglect of her child and was due to appear in court Monday, but she was not named by law enforcement. The bus company Intercity confirmed to New Zealand news outlets that the episode involved one of its vehicles. The company does not charge fares for children younger than 3 years who can travel for free on an adult's lap. Then why did she do that? Did she abduct this girl? Is that this kid? So what happened? Somalia's camel milk revolution is improving nutrition and creating jobs. You know that is happening in America. I feel like there's Somali people running that. It's not in Minnesota. I forget where it was. Kansas? I want to say Kansas. Mogadishu is Somalia. Camels have long been the backbone of Somalia's pastoralist culture, feeding families, transporting goods, and standing tall in local folklore. But on the dusty outskirts of the capital, the camel now finds itself at the center of an agriculture revolution that could redefine Somali farming. On a breezy Wednesday morning in mid-June, the Associated Press visited Better Camel Farm, one of a new generation of camel dairies springing up around Mogadishu. Dozens of camels sauntered around sandy paddocks, while others nibbled on fresh fodder under the watchful eyes of herders. In a nearby shed, workers carefully milked the animals and collected the frothy yield in sanitized containers. Demand for camel milk is growing, buoyed by a wave of local entrepreneurs who see untapped potential in a traditional resource. Somalia is home to over 7 million camels, more than any other country on earth, but only a fraction. Interesting how an African country, East African country, has more camels in the Middle East, any country in the Middle East. Okay. More than any other country on earth, but only a fraction of that milk has ever reached urban grocery shelves, according to industry estimates. The heart of the shift toward a modern approach to camel milk production is Dr. Adelisak Mirhashi, a veterinarian and the farm's manager. For Hashi, it's not only about profit, it's about preserving heritage while embracing progress. Somalis take pride in their heritage of raising camels. However, the way camels are raised has changed significantly over time. Interesting. I've also heard camel milk is more nutritious than cow milk. More nutritious, that's not how you spell it, than cow milk. Nutritious. Nutritious is crazy. Camel milk is often considered more nutritious than cow milk due to its higher levels of certain vitamins and minerals, particularly vitamin C and iron. It also tends to have lower levels of saturated fat and certain proteins that can cause allergies. While the calorie, protein, and carbohydrates content are comparable, camel's milk unique Camel milk's unique nutritional profile makes it a compelling alternative, especially for those with allergies sensitivities. Higher in V's, lower trees, lower in allergens. Allergen. Wait, hold on. So cow milk is more allergic. Oh, widely available and affordable causes. Okay. Okay. Camel milk muscle builder. Let's see that shit. How's that? Camel milk can support muscle building and athletic performance due to its high protein content and other beneficial components. It contains a good amount of protein, which including essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of muscle tissue. Oh, interesting. So it might be a better alternative. Popular 1980s actor Lonnie Anderson of the hit TV series WKRP in Cincinnati has died. I've never heard of the show. WKRP? What is the name? What is WKRP? Is that like a radio show? Let me look this up. WKRP in Cincinnati. WKRP. Oh, that's the name of the show. When a Cincinnati radio station, oh, I knew it. When a Cincinnati radio station switches from sedate music to top 40 rock and roll, its staff of oddball characters has to switch gears quickly. Gordon Jump. Who's this guy? Did he play Archie Bunker? No. But it's the same sort of like the guy who played Archie Bunker must be like the same sort of like white guy. You know what I mean? Like same type, like German. I think he looks German to me. Let's see if he's German ethnicity. Crayola, Chisel, Centerville, Pryor, Kappa, right? He dabbled in, no, what? He graduated from, no, what's his ethnicity, bro? He's later in jail, converted and became LDS Church, okay. But, different strokes, he was in Different Strokes? Topeka, he doesn't talk about his family. Spirituality, died, pulmonary fibrosis, he's married, he's interred. What's a lot of jump? Jump is English though, right? Rest in peace, actress. I have no idea who you are. Soldier boy arrested on suspicion of weapons charge during a traffic stop. Soldier boy. Let's see. Los Angeles soldier boy was arrested early Sunday following a traffic stop on suspicion of being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. Soldier 35, whose real name is DeAndre Cortez Way, was a passenger during a traffic stop at 2:35 a.m. Police said, and was arrested. Way was booked into jail in the Los Angeles Police Department's Wilshire Division a little after 6 a.m., according to the Sheriff Department's inmate database. Additional information on what prompted the stop and who else was in the vehicle was not immediately available, police said. A representative for Way did not immediately respond to the AP's request for comment. The Chicago hip-hop artist, I didn't know he was from Chicago. He's best known for his 2007 single Crank That. That's not how you sing it. Which went to #1 on Billboard Hot 100 and brought him a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Song. The rapper was recently ordered to pay $4 million in damages in April after being found liable for sexually assaulting, physically and emotionally abusing a former assistant. Oh, I didn't know that happened. Okay. Man charged in Tennessee. Israeli minister pray. I'm not touching that. Man charged in. I can just read the headlines. Israeli minister prays at Flashpoint holy site as officials say 33 aid seekers killed in Gaza. Wow. Men charged in Tennessee case involving 4 dead family members of abandoned infant. Oh, I remember reading that. I hadn't read that. Texas House Democrats flee the state in bid to block GOP's proposed congressional map. Oh, this is like the gerrymandering. Texas Democratic lawmakers fled the state Sunday in a bid to block passage of a new congressional map. Excuse me. Designed to give the GOP 5 additional seats in the U.S. House next year, raising the stakes in what's poised to be a national fight over redistricting ahead of next year's midterm election. The maneuver undertaken by most of Texas House's 62 Democrats deprives the Republican-controlled chamber of a quorum. What is a quorum? Gotta check that out. Quorum. The minimum number of members of an assembly or society that must be present at any of his meetings to make the proceedings of the meeting valid.
Quorum.
Quorum. Quorum, okay. All right, I see. The maneuver undertaken by, okay, quorum, the number of lawmakers needed to function under House rules. Oh, it says right here. Ahead of a scheduled Monday vote on the draft map, the 150-member House can only conduct business if at least 100 members are present, meaning the absent 51 or more Democrats can bring the legislature's ongoing special session to a halt. Texas House Democrats go through security screening at Signature Aviation in Austin prior to boarding a flight to Chicago on August 3rd, 2025. The lawmakers left the state in a bid to deny the quorum needed in the House to redraw the state's congressional maps. This is not a decision we make lightly, but it is one we make with absolute moral clarity, State Representative Gene Wu, chair of the House Democratic Caucus, said in a statement, in which he accused Governor Greg Abbott of using an intentionally racist map to steal the voices of millions of Black and Latino Texans, all to execute a corrupt political deal. Most House Democrats left Texas Sunday afternoon en route to the Chicago area. Some also headed to New York to meet with Governor Kathy Hochul, who has condemned Texas's mid-decade redistricting effort and entertained the idea of retaliating with new maps in her state. A third contingent of lawmakers departed for Boston to attend. Why they just flee the state? For Boston to attend the National Conference of State Legislators annual legislative summit alongside some Senate Democrats, according to a source familiar with the senator's plans. It was not immediately clear how many Senate Democrats had left the state, and the caucus did not indicate any plans to deny quorum in the upper chamber. There are just over 2 weeks left of the Texas legislative special session, during which Abbott has also asked lawmakers to take up measures in responding to the deadly July 4 Hill Country floods, stiffer regulations for consumable hemp, and contentious GOP priorities such as cracking down on abortion pills and the bathrooms transgender people can use. The prospects for those items, along with new redistricting maps, were immediately thrown in doubt by the Democrats' departure. In his statement, Wu said, as of today, this corrupt special session is over. At a news conference alongside Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker Sunday night, however, Wu was non-committal about Democrats' long-term plans, telling reporters he wasn't sure about the caucus's next step would be. What next? But we are still taking this day by day, he said. Abbott, meanwhile, sent a letter to each of the departed members late Sunday, informing them that he would attempt to have them removed from office if they do not return to Austin. The governor cited a non-binding 2021 legal opinion from Attorney General Ken Paxton, who said it would be up to a court to decide whether a lawmaker who had left the state to deny quorum had forfeited their office. If a court were to decide that the legislators had vacated their offices, Abbott would be permitted to fill those seats with appointees of his choosing, Paxton's opinion stated. Democrats have excoriated the mid-decade redistricting plan, which was demanded by President Donald Trump ahead of a potentially difficult midterm election for Republicans. This always happens. This always happens in the sense, like, not redistricting. I'm saying whenever someone gets into power, they have the House and Senate. There's always a pushback against who is in power, federally. So the executive office. So what happens is most people will vote for the other party in this country. There's like one other party that you can take seriously. And also because of the things that the current the administration that's in power. I'm not talking about this current administration. Any administration that's in power historically, right? If people don't like it, there will be a pushback. If people think that's it's not appropriate what they're doing, there's a pushback. So it happens. It happens a lot. I'm saying, like, not redistricting. I'm saying that the following, like, midterm election, almost always there's a pushback, and if there's no pushback, it's seen as like a big a-okay thumbs up for the current administration. Ahead of a potentially difficult midterm election for Republicans, as a political power grab that would unconstitutionally suppress the votes of people of color. But locked out of power in the legislature, Democrats have few tools at their disposal to fight the effort, even as they promise to delay the map's adoption and to use that extra time to educate Texans on what they framed as an attack on democracy. Locked out of power on the, Democrats are like, I mean, they had power before. What did they do? Preventing a quorum was a nuclear option. Coming just before the map was set to reach the House floor. Republicans advanced the redistricting plan out of a House committee Saturday morning and later scheduled it for a floor vote Monday. We'll see what happens. Broken altimeter, ignored warnings. Hearings revealed that what went wrong in DC crash that killed 67. When did this happen? Oh, this is not. This is the hearing, so that means it happened like months ago, maybe even years ago. Well, 3 days of some contentious hearing this week. The National Transportation Safety Board interrogated Federal Aviation Administration and Army officials about a list of things that went wrong and contributed to a Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger. I remember this. This was months ago. Too grim. I'm gonna skip that. Let's see. Boeing St. Louis defense workers set to strike for Monday after rejecting latest offer. Whale died after collision with small boat off New Jersey shore. Whale died? Oh wow, how strong was the boat? The UN says 68 African migrants were killed when a boat capsized off Yemen. Australian towns blanketed with rare snow in wild weather. Does it snow in Australia at all? I guess Canberra. Several towns in eastern Australia were blanketed with the thickest layer of snow in decades as wild weather kept the area this weekend, causing floods, stranding vehicles, and cutting power to thousands of homes. They might not be equipped for it. I mean, their summer, like our summer, is winter for them, right? It must be odd for people to travel there. Go, what the hell? Hamas released second video of Israeli hostage and said it will not disarm until Palestinian state established. Russian volcano erupts for first time in more than 500 years. Oh, I remember reading that. That's what the tsunami was caused, right? Michigan's governor replaces clean energy advocate on utilities board with industry ally. 90 laptops, millions of dollars. US woman jailed over North Korea remote work scam. What? North Korea. Wait, Christine Chapman apologized for rolling identity fraud that amassed millions to allegedly aid nuclear weapons program. Oh, I remember reading this. In March 2020, about the time the COVID pandemic started, Christina Chapman, a woman who lived in Arizona and Minnesota, received a message on LinkedIn asking her to be the US face of a company and help overseas IT workers gain remote employment. As working from home became the norm for many people, Chapman was able to find jobs for the foreign workers at hundreds of US companies, including some in the Fortune 500, such as Nike, a premier Silicon Valley technology company. Oh, they're not naming that? Oh, no, they're saying Nike is that? No. And one of the most recognizable media and entertainment companies in the world. The employers thought they were hiring US citizens. They were actually people in North Korea. Chapman was participating in the North Korean government scheme to deploy thousands of highly skilled IT workers by stealing identities to make it look like they were in the US or other countries. They have collected millions of dollars to boost the government's nuclear weapons development, according to the US Justice Department court records. Chapman's bizarre story, which culminated in an 8-year prison sentence, is a curious mix of geopolitics, international crime, and one woman's tragic tale of isolation and working from home in a gig-dominated economy where increasingly everything happens through a computer screen and it is harder to tell fact from fiction. That's unfortunate because I don't think she had the intention to do that. Tennessee authorities find 14 IEDs in man's home during arrest. 14. What was he planning? Officials in Tennessee found 14 improvised explosive devices in a man's home while they were arresting him this week on suspicion of threatening officials, the Polk County Sheriff's Office said. Sheriff's deputies and detectives went to an address Friday seeking to arrest Kevin Wade O'Neill on active warrants. O'Neill was accused of threatening to kill public officials and law enforcement. This mask is killing me. O'Neill was accused of threatening to kill public officials and law enforcement personnel in the county, according to a statement from the sheriff's office. While they were taking him into custody, they noticed something smoldering in the bedroom where they found O'Neill and determined it was an IED. Smoldering. Bomb squad officers and agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives who searched the home found 14 IEDs inside the sheriff's office. A detective said O'Neill's plan was to detonate the bombs as law enforcement arrived to arrest him. O'Neill, 54, faces a slew of charges, including 11 counts of attempted first-degree murder, 14 counts of prohibited weapons, and 1 count of possession of explosive components. The sheriff's office said the attempted murder charges relate to the responding sheriff's office personnel and 2 other people who were at the scene. Okay. The sheriff's office said O'Neill is being held at Polk County Jail and bond has yet to be determined. It was not immediately clear whether he had legal representation. Wild. So why did he? Sounds like he had something against the uh, law enforcement officers. Doge reportedly using AI tool to create delete list of federal regulations. Oh, that's Doge is still in effect. So Elon just left, but it's still in effect. The Department of Government Efficiency is using artificial intelligence to create a delete list of federal regulations, according to a report, proposing to use a tool to cut 50% of regulations by the first anniversary of Donald Trump's second inauguration. The Doge AI deregulation decision tool will analyze 200,000 government regulations according to internal documents obtained by the Washington Post and select those which it deems to be no longer required by law. Doge, which was run by Elon Musk until May, claims that 100,000 of those regulations can then be eliminated following some staff feedback. What? 100,000 of those regulations. A PowerPoint representation made public by the Post claims that the Department of Housing and Urban Development HUD used the AI tool to make decisions on 1,083 regulations, the regulatory sections, while the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau used it to write 100% of deregulations. The Post spoke to 3 HUD employees who told the newspaper of AI had been recently used to review hundreds, if not more than 1,000 lines of regulations. So the AI is doing it. I think it's because they don't have the workers, like I don't want to say subject matter experts, but like at least people who've worked in that industry or that area for like a while who can advise these people. I think they don't exist anymore. But what's happened now is AI is just doing that work, which if the AI is trained properly, you could still make mistakes. So, and I don't think there's people that are doing this probably know the regulation, deregulations, and how these things work. Maybe small earthquake rattles parts of New York City area, New Jersey. Oh, I remember reading this. This is over the weekend, right? A small earthquake rattles some parts of the New York City area. New York City area Saturday night, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The epicenter of the 3.0 magnitude quake was northeast of Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, in Bergen County, about 10 kilometers below the surface. USGS said. Why are they saying kilometers? This is ABS News. Why are they saying kilometers? Though the quake was relatively minor, there were reports of brief shaking in parts of the area. 3.0 is not, on the Richter scale, is not too bad. The security is not serious, at least. A security camera captured the moment a family leaped up in confusion as the quake hit. In footage shared by Gabby Atchen, she and her husband Sammy quickly jumped off their sofa, rushing around in confusion as they tried to figure out what caused the shaking. What was that? Gabby's heard wondering, did something crash? Earthquakes, I'm assuming it's crazy because I don't think I've ever felt it. Collision with moose kills driver and injures passenger near Alaska's Denali National Park. This happens with a lot of things. I've heard in the Middle East, like when they crash into camels are so strong, they're so big and strong that the cars are just like obliterated by basically, they have to be totaled because they can't be used anymore. And obviously the passengers are injured, severely injured. Rescue workers in Chile find the body of one of 5 miners trapped in a copper mine. This is still going on? Chile? Bogota, Colombia, rescue teams found a body inside a section of a Chilean copper mine that collapsed 2 days earlier. Oh, this is not the one like that happened years ago. Earlier, during a moderate earthquake, the mine's director said Saturday rescuers have been trying to reach 5 miners who were trapped Thursday evening in the El Teniente mine in central Chile as rocks collapsed around them during a 4.2 magnitude quake. Copper mine is one of the Chile's largest. Oh, imagine, I didn't think of that. Imagine like there's a natural disaster and you're just under the mine. The mine, you're a miner, like you're inside the mines. Colombian ex-president Alvaro Uribe sentenced to 12 years house arrest for bribery. Austin church vandalized and pride flag torn down. It's happening everywhere. What did it say? Pride was the first sin. A church in South Austin, Austin of all places, was vandalized, including having its displayed pride flag torn down, and the church says this is not the first time an incident like this has occurred. Life in the City Church, a United Methodist church and radically inclusive and affirming progressive faith community per its social media, says the person spray painted pride was the first sin on the walls of the building in Travis Heights on Friday. Today, our church building was vandalized and our Progress Pride flag was torn down. This act was meant to threaten the mission we hold sacred. Of what kind of progressive church community? Oh, Methodist, yeah, United Methodist. They're yeah, Methodist church are usually a Unitarian church. Is Methodist Unitarian? I don't know, but they're usually pretty open. Columbia Sports Bar sues Columbia University for trademark infringement. Uh, Wait, I thought the Columbia University came first. Oh, maybe they trademarked it first. Kiev says it hit Russian oil military facilities. Tennessee man threatened to kill public officials, kept explosives devices in his house, in his home. Okay, we read about this. Office of Special Counsel Investigation. Ex-Trump prosecutor. This guy prosecuted Trump. Federal officials are investigating former special counsel Jack Smith after President Donald Trump and other prominent Republicans have alleged that his investigation into then candidate Trump amounted to illegal political activity. Yo, listen, I do not want to end up in the gulags. So, Colorado deputies disciplined for helping federal immigration agents. Oh, wow. Uber Canada says it's changed emergency policies after driver left with child in backseat. Wow. Americans set a relay world record in swim worlds in Singapore, and Ledecky wins again. Archaeologists scanned 2,000-year-old ice mummies sporting tattoos. Illinois became first state to require certain mental health screenings. NFL on the verge of selling media assets to ESPN for an equity stake in the network, AP sources say. U.S. labor activist Chris Smalls assaulted by IDF during Gaza aid trip. Oh, I remember this. I remember Chris Smalls. It was like a union. Yeah. He was with, he was with Hassan Piker. Indonesia's Mount Lawatabi Laki erupts again, spewing giant ash plumes miles away. German zoo kills 12 healthy baboons that it didn't have space to house. What? Jenny Seeley country, you could have just left them just into the wilderness, bro. Just let them free. They probably don't know how to survive at this point if they've been in the zoo for too long. Jenny Seeley, country music trailblazer for women, dies at 85. Teacher charged in fatal stabbings in Arkansas, bounced between schools in 3 states. Teacher charged? Little Rock, Arkansas, 28-year-old teacher who was authorities said admitted to fatally stabbing. Oh, 2 hikers, yes. 4 people dead in Montana bar shooting suspected at large. Tesla hit with $243 million in damages after jury finds his autopilot feature contributed to fatal crash. Okay, technology. What's happening to technology? The brain responds like it's a physical injury. Why posting photos of friends on social media without their consent sparks rifts? Apple sues movie theater chain with similar Apple Cinemas name. Oh, that was but Apple Cinemas existed for a while, right? Or is it new? Apple Cinemas knowingly and intentionally using the name Apple to sow confusion for its own benefit. Alleged attorneys for Apple in a complaint filed against all Apple Cinemas locations and Sand Media Corporation Incorporated, company connected to the chain. Established in 2013, okay, Apple Cinemas maintained a limited presence in the northeastern US, yes, until last month when it opened a theater in San Francisco. The complaint alleges that Apple Cinemas is pursuing a nationwide expansion around the US, including in areas near Apple's headquarters and retail stores, leading Apple to take action. Okay. Interesting. They're expanding at this point when, I feel like movie theaters are closing down. University of Queensland to conduct for world first tests into magnetic heat shields to improve spaceship re-entry. Magnetohydrodynamic heat shield technology. AI-generated animals in fake surveillance videos are fooling the internet. AI is doing job interviews now, but candidates say they'd rather risk staying unemployed than talk to another robot. Instead, OpenAI's quest to make AI do anything for you. And that's interesting. Anything? Anything, bro? Anything, Altman? Shortly after Hunter Lightman joined OpenAI as a researcher in 2022, he watched his colleagues launch ChatGPT, one of the fastest growing products ever. Meanwhile, Lightman quietly worked on a team teaching OpenAI's models to solve high school math competitions. Today, that team, known as MathGen, is considered instrumental to OpenAI's industry-leading effort to create AI reasoning models, the core technology behind AI agents that can do tasks on a computer like a human would. We were trying to make the models better at mathematical reasoning, which at the time they weren't very good at. Lightman told TechCrunch, describing MathGen's early work, OpenAI's models are far from perfect today. The company's latest AI systems still hallucinate and its agents struggle with complex tasks. But its state-of-the-art models have improved significantly on mathematical reasoning. One of AI's models recently won a gold medal. I thought it was Google's that won a gold medal, like the Olympiad, like the Olympiad. Mark Zuckerberg recruited 5 of the 01 researchers to work on Meta's new super intelligence focused unit. This is the one he's offering people like $1 billion as salaries or whatnot. MasterCard denies pressuring game platforms. Valve tells a different story. But Project Mariner, who rebuilt the whole thing from scratch and open sourced it. Scientists have discovered a way to make quantum entanglement reversible, something long thought to be impossible by a quantum entanglement battery device. AI is coming for the consultants inside McKinsey. This is existential. Really? That's been good. I heard this last year that a lot of the consultants, or the junior consultants, the new one, the early career ones that are just, getting hired, even the interns are using AI and getting work done faster. And now they're replacing them, I guess. Age verification is coming for the whole internet. Netscape's lessons for AI mania. I don't know if age verification is probably, I don't know. It's probably needed because it's, I don't know. It's a restriction, but also the internet is going crazy recently. Nuclear plants too expensive. China shows low-cost construction possible, could offer a pathway to break the cost curse. Other than the private ChatGPT, okay. Other than the private ChatGPT conversations found via Google search after feature mishap, Google users shocked as personal conversations were discoverable on Google. As a I'm telling you, nothing is private on here. Nothing is private on the internet. What just happened? Numerous organizations have repeatedly warned ChatGPT users over the years never to share personal information with OpenAI's chatbot. A recent incident involving a now removed feature reveals that potentially thousands of people disclosed deeply intimate information with ChatGPT and also inadvertently made it indiscoverable through Google search. OpenAI recently confirmed that it has deactivated an opt-in feature that shared chat histories on the open web. Although the functionality required users explicit permission, its description might have been too vague, as users expressed shock after personal information from chats appeared in Google's search results. Nothing is personal. If you're online, if you're using an app, if you're using a website, your data will get leaked intentionally or unintentionally, inadvertently, in any way. Doesn't matter what you call it. Court backs Epic Games in ruling Google Play Store is an illegal monopoly. Google must open Android to other app stores after losing antitrust appeal. Mystery packages with QR codes spark new wave of scams. 70% of Americans scan QR codes without checking this their source. Alphabet. What is the life tech experts made us? PDF file. PDF tech expert called PDF file in UK government online safety act meeting. An internet privacy expert has said she was called the PDF file during a UK government meeting after raising concerns about the Online Safety Act. China deploys breakthrough super steel. This happens a lot. People use when there's something that's for protection and people are scared, there's a lot of like fear around it. It's hard to talk against it or make amends. She probably just suggested amendment, which I don't know what she said actually, but amendment, and then people getting a reaction about it because it's such a delicate subject. China deploys breakthrough super steel alloy to build nuclear fusion generation reactor. While Core cancels consumer friendly click to cancel rule. What? That makes it easier. Why did court cancel it? The Federal Appeals Court had blocked enforcement of a Federal Trade Commission rule that prohibited companies from making it any more difficult for consumers to cancel. Difficult, okay. One subscriptions and membership or auto renewals. The U.S. Court of Appeals in St. Louis vacated the click to cancel rule just days before the July 14th enforcement date, deciding that the FTC had not followed proper procedure. As alleged by several business groups, as an assertion the FTC rejected previously, the court's ruling noted that it did not endorse the use of unfair deceptive practices, negative option marketing. YouTube's new AI feature is stupid and potentially dangerous. I clicked on like certain shorts, and it was originally set in a different language, but then it was coming up in English, and it's clearly AI generated English. I can tell that, but it was interesting, and I didn't even know how to switch back to that language. That's what it did. GOG launches not safe for work game giveaway to raise awareness of censorship in gaming. Anthropic persona vectors. Apple reports biggest revenue growth since December 2021. Oh, I wonder what contributed to it. Sales of the iPhone grew 13% year over year, and overall revenue grew 10%. Apple's largest quarterly revenue growth since December 2021. Apple CEO Tim Cook said Apple will significantly grow its AI investments, adding other companies is open to M&A that accelerates our roadmap. Oh, merger acquisition. The company also saw success in China during the quarter, with sales raising 4% on an annual basis to $15.37 billion. Cook said a Chinese subsidy for some devices helped Apple in the region. Earnings per share. Interesting. What's in gadgets? Oh, leak claims the PS6 would have tripled the performance as the PS5 for the same price. A comprehensive leak of the info reveals the next gen console and release timing. When is the release timing? I haven't played my PS5 in a long time. I need to play. Possible specs leaked pre-2023. Come on, rendering. When does it say? Mid 2027. With the potential manufacturing both, or they start manufacturing in mid 2027 with the potential release date window between fall 2027 and early 2028. That's a few years ago. A few years from now. What is it? Yeah. Oakley Meta Glasses review is familiar formula with some upgrades. Oakley is doing it? Wow. I didn't think Oakley was that kind of company. Their branding is mostly towards certain demographics. This is Microsoft canceled Windows-based Surface Duo, the dual-screen Windows phone from 2018 that we never got. Robo bunnies are the latest weapon against Florida's invasive pythons. Microsoft needs to make affordable 5G Surface laptops a reality. Ukraine rescues soldier via drone delivery for complete e-bike. Complete e-bike drones can now carry significant payloads. Oh wow! Implantable device could save diabetes patients from dangerously low blood sugar. The new implant carries a reservoir of glucagon that can be stored under the skin and deployed during an emergency with no injections needed. That's breakthrough. Sony's triple layer image sensor promises huge performance gains. As of June 30, 2025, Nintendo has sold 5.83 million Switch 2 units and 153 million Nintendo Switch. When did it come out? Didn't it come out like in May or something? April, May? I think it came out May, June. In 2 months, it sold. NVIDIA announces the end of GPU driver updates of GeForce 10 series with Windows 10. NVIDIA will cover gamers who take advantage of Windows 10 extended updates. Google Home is so bad that a lawsuit could be on its way. Home is where the smart lights inexplicably stop working. Apple's new Answers team eyes ChatGPT-like product and AI push. Apple's 18.8-inch foldable device could miss 2026 production target. Bro, I thought we're getting it in 2020 later, mid 2026. Foldable could miss 2026. And because Android, like all Samsung, Google's been doing this. I think Samsung, Android people have been doing this for a while. And I really thought with Apple's aesthetics, it would really be good. All right, let me just do. Okay, I've been here for a month. Let me just do it for an hour. Let me just play some Wordle. Get out of here. Same strategy, word with the most vowels that I can think of. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Um, I don't know why I think of this. That's not a word. The this. I want to use. I want to see if there's an E. That's what I want to do. But there's a D. E. Derivative. Denim. Oh, denim. No E. Interesting. It's ID. It's XXX ID. Future separate. What it? Look at carrot. Capit. Cupid. I'm gonna do Cupid. I'm gonna do Cupid. Cupid. Okay, it is ID. It's not lucid. It's not there. I know it's not there, but let me just try it because I don't see it's not there. Oh my, this is gonna drive me crazy if this is a word that I know. 5-letter word, blank, 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 ID. 5-letter word, blank, 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 ID. I should try the S. Estid. Thank you for the hearts. Estid, 5-letter word, blank, 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 ID. What could that be? Oh, nice to meet you. I want to be friends with you. Oh, thank you, Serena. Thank you for the hearts. Blank. What is a 5-letter word, Serena? 5-letter word, blank, blank, blank. ID. What is that? Let's see. I'm turn the AC on. There's no L, there's no C. This is gonna drive me crazy. I know. I feel like it's not there, but it's not a word. Blank, blank, blank. ID. The brutalist. What is? I'm trying to hold on. Oh. What is 5-letter word? Can't think of any. Oh, I should try. Let's see. What do we have? 5-letter word, blank, blank, blank. ID. 5-letter word, blank, blank, blank. ID. MIT. Close. What is a 5-letter word that's blank, blank, blank ID? I don't know. Blank, blank, blank ID. I tried everything. I'm just going to give up. I give up at this point. It's not loose. I'm just going to do it. What is it? What is the word? What is the word? What the frick is it? Rigid. I could have thought of that. I could have come up with that. Ugh! I hate when this happens. All right, mini crossword real quick. Key above caps lock. Tab. TAB. What is he? Biased sports fan. I forgot what puts the I in Silicon Valley. What is the I in Silicon Valley? What puts the I in Silicon Valley? I don't know. The triangular road sign. Yield. I don't know that. Items in a music library for short. Items in a music set. Conversation subject. Topic. Eh. Topic. Topic. Okay, I can't type. Pumped up. Pumped up. Boosted. Aimed up. EEG. Okay. A silver dash. Christmas classic. Silver. Farm fodder is hay, right? Farm fodder is hay. Yeah. Six. What puts the eye in Silicon Valley? Apple. What is five down? Like pants in the classic Nantucket style. What? Like pants? Silver balls? Oh, so Christmas silver bells. Balls. What's this? 8 items in a biased sports fan. Biased sports fan, Homer. What? Wow, okay. Homer is what's the like pants in the classic Nantucket style red. What does that even mean? Like pants in the classic Nantucket style. I don't know what that is. Let me do a quiz. I have to get one category right, and I'm out of here. I'm running out of battery on my phone too. This is way too loud. Which racetrack are you? Nuremberg. So it's Germany. Germany, Luxembourg, Nuremberg. That was easy. What? Oh, somewhere else. Who has the most wins at the German Grand Prix? Schumacher. Schumacher's. Oh, I thought Schumacher was like the OG, the legend. Which constructor has won the most races? I think it's Ferrari. Yeah. Ferrari. What's next? Science. This is my thing. Let's go. What is it? What is this? Well, the world's largest flower, Rafflesia arnoldale, is native to which Southeast Asian country? Palangaraya. No, Malaysia. Give me Malaysia, brother. Give me Malaysia. Oh. Indonesia. I'm taking Indonesia. Shit. What is the term for plants that grow on other plants and feed on them? Parasites, right? Wait, but symbionts? Parasite, I knew it. I thought it was an organism. I didn't think it was. In which plant family? Oh, symbiotic is like both ways. In which plant family are tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants classified? Fabaceae, whatever that is. Dude, why are you giving me plants and stuff? Give me some of those. Oh, science again. Thank God. Okay. Get this and I'm out of here. I'm gonna get this right. In which country was a mobile phone invented by Ericsson? 1956. It's Sony Ericsson. It's a Nordic region, I feel like. Ericsson. Yeah, no, Ericsson, bro. Max Vick. I want to say Sweden or Switzerland or something like that. If it's Switzerland, I'll lose my mind. Okay, I was right. What did Josephine Cochrane invent in 1886? I feel like I know this. This is gonna sound really bad, but not because she's a woman. What? It's a timing? Who is credited with inventing the World Wide Web in 1989? Not these two. I feel like it's Tim Burns. Ah! Gotta get it all right. Let's see what's next. Sports. Holland. Who was Holland from? Germany. No, he's from Netherlands. He's from Netherlands. He's from the Netherlands, brother. Is he not? Is he Swedish? Or is he from Where's he from? He's not from the UK. Oh, he was born in the UK? Oh, Ireland is the most expensive transfer industry. True, I think. I don't know. Holland was the. She's talking with season 20. I think it was 2020. Oh wow. Oh, science game. Come on, give me something other than plants. Give me something interesting. Winwood City was the first IBM PC developed. It's in it's in United States of America, but which city? Silicon? Is it IBM? Most Southwest. Very California looking to me. Land in which city? It's just I'm just doing San Francisco. San Francisco. Where's California? There you go. Let me get this right because they asked specifically asked which city. Where is it? Miami? Oh my god, yeah, that does. I was about to say it looks a little southern. It was credited with co-founding Jeff Microsoft Corporation. There's no point. I have to get it all right. The mother of computer programming. It just sounded Russian, dude, and I thought, man, that's probably it. Now let's go. Let's go. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Come on. In which country did the Battle of Waterloo take place? Okay, I think it was Canada, right? I want to say Canada. Where was it? Germany? Belgium. Oh, look, I knew that. What was the name of the political club that played a significant role during the French Revolution? The Bonapartists. The Jacobites. Oh, who was the leader of the Jacobites? Was Napoleon Bonaparte? Is Maximilian Robespierre? I don't know, bro. I feel like my European history is kind of like dead now, because if you don't brush up on it and think about it, I just forgot. Which country has Tripoli? Is Libya. Liberia. Got that. What is a Arabic? Please. Thank you. What is the name of the infamous Libyan dictator who ruled Gaddafi? Yes, please. Got all three right. I'm out. I'm done. It's nice. Peace.